Hey guys, it's Heather here with Underwater Panther. And I've been studying a lot lately about AI, deepfake content, laws around it, and what the hell is going on in the Aquarian age. So I've done a hell of a lot of research. I've literally created a 73-page book on it, and I am not as organized as I would like to be. I probably have 200 plus pages in total in regards to notes and references and writing and all of this stuff. So I think I'm going to do the video first. I do apologize if it's not exactly organized. I think it's organized, but not exactly. I'm a perfectionist, so I'm struggling with that. I will cite sources, references in the, I'm not sure if I'm going to put them in the description box or just I'll launch a whole book on this so that you have the resources. It's very important. This is an extremely important topic. I am actually extremely concerned with what is going on. I am kind of rather isolated. I live on a farm. I do work in the city, but I still don't exactly hear too many people talking about this topic. I'm not really seeing it online. I'm not really hearing it in person. So I just wanted to go ahead and push this information out there because I know that is actually very important. All right, so the internet you grew up with is gone, not dying, gone. And what replaced it is something most people don't even realize exists. You are no longer browsing human created content. You're browsing an illusion, a synthetic hallucination built by machines for machines. Most people think AI videos means a few TikToks with cloned voices. No, I'm talking about something far bigger. AI content farms, entire factories of synthetic humans working 24/7, generating millions of videos, articles, comments, podcasts, faces, opinions, and narratives with zero human involvement. Not a team, not a studio, not a writer. A machine speaking to millions of people at once, pretending to be real. And here's the part no one wants to hear. Most of the internet is fake now. Let me say that again. Most of the internet is no longer created by people. It's created by systems designed to hijack attention, profit from confusion, and drown the human mind in noise. So I do not have a chapter by chapter overview of what I am going through. So I'm just going to go through, I'm just going to wing it with this video. I'm always extremely organized, so this is driving me a little nuts. But anyways, the birth of the synthetic internet. Around 2022 to 2023, AI text generations hit mainstream. Around 2024, AI voices became indistinguishable from real humans. Around 2025, video models could generate entire personalities, backgrounds, faces, and emotions. And now in 2020, up and coming, we will have autonomous content farms, which we already do. AI writes the script, clones the voices, generates the face, creates the video, uploads it, comments on it, argues with itself in the replays. And the replies boosts engagement, analyzes what performs best, and creates more content. I am so triggered by this Joe Rogan video, total deep fake video. I am extremely careful with what I have in my feed on YouTube, and I am so triggered. It had so many views. It was totally fake, not him at all. The information was crap. I am like so activated. It's crazy. So that is why I'm making this, evolving my channel. Honestly, I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things. So you're watching machines train machines to manipulate humans. We are outnumbered. And this is only the beginning. The spiritual crisis behind it. AI content farms are not just a technological issue, they represent a collapse of authenticity. I am an Aquarian INTJ Mercury or mind. So, like, I am so triggered by fakeness and disinformation or just not facts and truth. I am so triggered by that. It is wild and there's no stopping it. So I am educating myself and you as well because we need to be informed. We have opened Pandora's box and there is no closing it, and we have no guardrails. So buckle up, buckle up. All right, so AI content farms are not just a technological issue, they represent a collapse of authenticity. Humans have spent decades outsourcing thinking, first to TV, then to influencers, then to algorithms, now to machines pretending to be influencers. We built an ecosystem where truth is determined by engagement, not substance. So I have always said we are drowning in information and starving for wisdom. I've been saying that for 20 years now, and it has never been more true. Wild, wild times. So the machine optimizes for engagement, and what engages people? Outrage, fear, tribalism, conspiracy, emotional triggers, parasocial connection, fake intimacy, fake authority, and fake wisdom, fake beauty, and fake humanity. AI looked at our collective unconscious and simply mirrored back the shadow. So I have so much freaking information. I don't know. I'm gonna eventually break it down. I have to start with the foundation, lay it out, explain it, go into what laws we really don't have right now or guardrails with this. So just remember that AI is a mirror of human unconsciousness. It is like our shadow being mirrored to ourselves. So yeah, this is really, really wild, honestly. AI looked at our collective unconscious and simply mirrored back the shadow. This is a karmic mirror of the Aquarian age. So today I need to talk about something that shook me in a way I wasn't expecting. I saw one of the most disturbing videos I've ever encountered, not because of the message, but because of what it actually was, a full deep fake. I didn't even exactly know what that term was until recently. A spiritual teacher who doesn't exist, an AI generated voice, an AI generated face, AI generated movement, and AI generated words, and hundreds of thousands of views. This is a part of the Aquarian age nobody warned people about. The spiritual shadow. We are stepping into a world where information is infinite, but wisdom is extinct. A world where illusion looks more real than humanity. A world where seekers are starving for truth, but being fed artificial content designed to mimic enlightenment. This is the collapse of the Piscean illusion mixed with the distortion of the Aquarian intellect. And it's accelerating faster than anyone expected. And today I'm going to break this down through history, psychology, astrology, shadow work, gender dynamics, and what this means for the future of human consciousness. I have so many different feelings and thoughts about this. Like, I've been doing some insane deep dive studies for the last 2 decades, and I am so excited. I am so honestly excited that the collective human awakening is happening. I am able to speak to people in person now on a different level, which is exciting. I'm excited about this age, and I'm also very, very concerned about the younger generations. I am a millennial, and I was raised pretty much by my now over 80-year-old grandparents. So I have seen and lived through technology, flip phones, corded phones, typewriters before computers. Like, it is really wild to sit here and think about the technology evolution that I have lived through personally. And I'm sitting here like, wow, the younger generations are just, they are never going to experience that, and the world that they are being born into is so fast paced and inauthentic, and they need to be warned. They need to have correct information and understand what is actually going on. All right, so the age of information does not necessarily mean the age of wisdom. The moment humanity entered the digital era, something fundamental shifted. Knowledge used to come from elders, teachers, apprenticeships, rituals, initiation, and journeys. Wisdom was earned, not consumed. It required responsibility, humility, time, mentoring, discipline, and self confrontation. But now we have an entire generation being spiritually trained by algorithms, not human beings. The average person scrolls through more information in 24 hours than an ancient philosopher encountered in an entire lifetime. But information without discernment is not wisdom, it's chaos. And AI has now multiplied that chaos into industrial scale. Deepfake reality, the collapse of shared truth. So the full occult, psychological, geopolitical, Aquarian lens with what is going on with the deepfake AI videos and information and articles. Oh my God, podcasts. Deepfake reality did not emerge because humans became technologically advanced. It emerged because humanity became spiritually underdeveloped. Technology always evolves faster than human consciousness. And when the moral, psychological, and energetic maturity of a collective is too low, the tools they create begin to expose, destabilize, and pressure the psyche into evolution. Human beings have always relied on the physical senses as the final confirmation of truth. That reliance, seeing is believing, was never questioned. But we now stand in the first era of human civilization where seeing is no longer believing, hearing is no longer evidence, and recordings are no longer reality. When the senses collapse, the entire worldview collapses with them. The excuse me, this dissolving of sensory truth is not a mistake of technology. It is a part of a cosmic initiation cycle. Every time humanity enters an air age, especially an Aquarian age, external reality loses solidity. Truth becomes less about matter and more about consciousness. The material world becomes less authoritative, and the psychological world becomes the actual battleground. Pluto in Aquarius, which happened in 2023, I believe, and will be in Aquarius until 2044. So Pluto in Aquarius is extremely activating to the collective, especially the Scorpio, Pluto generation, the millennial generation. We are on absolute fire. We've transitioned through many different technologies, and we are here trying to guide the younger generations in this wild age we are in. So, that Pluto and Aquarius amplifies this transition to the extreme. Aquarius rules networks, technology, collective perception, and the architecture of truth. Pluto rules death, corruption, rebirth, shadow, power, and revolution. When these two forces fuse, humanity is thrust into the most radical identity crisis in recorded history. For the first time, the collective can fabricate human likeness, voice, face, emotion, memory, everything the psyche associates with personhood can be imitated and weaponized. This obliterates the foundation of shared reality, which has always depended on verified identity. Empires do not collapse when they lose wealth or armies. They collapse when they lose trust in what is real. Deepfakes fast track that process. This technological threshold echoes ancient cycles. Indigenous prophecies spoke of the metal people, talking shadows, and the time when humans would forget how to see. Egyptian myths spoke of the age when illusion would rise before renewal. Gnostic texts predicted a time when their archons would mimic human forms to confuse humanity. In every ancient system, illusion precedes awakening. Deepfakes are the modern expression of that prophecy. Synthetic beings entering the human domain before consciousness upgrades to meet them. On a psychological level, deepfakes destabilize the nervous system. Humans evolved to detect danger through facial micro movements, voice tone, and subtleties of presence. Deepfakes hijack these mechanisms. The amygdala cannot tell the difference. The prefrontal cortex becomes overwhelmed trying to decode authenticity. The result is an internal fragmentation, hypervigilance, distrust, confusion, and eventually numbness. A psychologically numb population is easy to control. Empires always prefer numb citizens because numb citizens do not revolt. Deepfake reality, therefore, becomes the perfect psychological weapon, not to manipulate what people think necessarily, but to overwhelm them until they stop thinking altogether. This is how authoritarianism rises, not by force, but by confusion. When people cannot discern truth, they cling to the loudest narrative, the strongest authority, or the simplest explanation. The collapse of discernment creates the perfect environment for manipulation. And Pluto and Aquarius ensures that every corrupt system, every deceptive structure, every hidden shadow will be exposed, often through the very technology it created. Deepfake reality also holds a spiritual dimension. The Hermetic principle of correspondence, as above, so below, tells us that external chaos always reflects internal chaos. Humanity created synthetic illusions because humanity is internally fragmented. People wear masks, public identities differ from private selves, social persons contradict inner truth. Deepfakes are simply the digital mirror of the lies humans already live with. The principle of vibration and Hermeticism states that nothing is fixed. Nothing is fixed. Everything vibrates. Deepfakes mimic the appearance of truth, but lack the vibration of authenticity. This is how mystics will navigate the next era, not by analyzing images, but by tuning into resonance. We have wild solar flares going on right now. I'm getting insane amounts of notifications. It is like our sun, Three Eye Atlas. There's so much going on. We had a grand trine. Oh my gosh. We have so much going on like in the sky. It's crazy, as well as like here on Earth. It's so wild. So wild. All right. So the energetic signature of a real person is different from a synthetic construct. I'm like out here in the cold and I need to get my electric blanket over my foot because my foot's cold. All right. So this initiates humanity into an intuitive era where the metaphysical senses become more important than the physical ones. Deepfake reality also reveals something the collective refuses to face: the shadow of human creation. AI is not alien, it is us. It is built from our data, our behaviors, our biases, our unintegrated wounds. AI speaks with a collective unconscious because it is the collective unconscious. What we fear about AI is what we fear about ourselves. our capacity to lie, manipulate, deceive, distort, and create personas that do not reflect our soul. Every shadow that humanity has repressed becomes encoded through machine intelligence. AI does not just replace human intelligence, it replicates human unresolved trauma. Therefore, deepfake reality is the confrontation with the shadow self at a civilizational scale. Geopolitically, deepfakes represent the death of the nation state. Once you can fabricate politicians, generals, presidents, or diplomatic announcements, global trust becomes impossible. Wars can be triggered by illusions. Elections can be influenced by synthetic narratives, and they actually have some laws. I'm going to break down what we have currently federally, all of the laws regarding AI. I am going to get into that here after a while. So, wars can be triggered by illusions. Elections can be influenced by synthetic narratives. Diplomacy can crumble overnight. The cost of misinformation becomes indistinguishable from the cost of war. Every empire that collapsed, Rome, Persia, the Mongols, the Soviets, died from internal destabilization, not external enemies. Deep fakes accelerate internal destabilization by fracturing the foundation of shared truth. Without shared truth, there is no shared identity. Without shared identity, there is no nation. Pluto and Aquarius highlights this collapse in digital form. The old hierarchical structures, media, government, institutions lose authority. Power decentralizes to networks. But decentralization without discernment becomes chaos. Only those anchored in internal truth will navigate this shift without losing themselves. Deepfake reality will also dissolve the social contract around authenticity. The question, is this real, will become obsolete. The new question will be, does this resonate? The human capacity to feel truth energetically becomes the most valuable survival skill of the Aquarian age. In indigenous traditions, truth is felt, not necessarily proven. In esoteric traditions, truth is recognized, not necessarily validated. Deepfakes force the modern world to relearn what ancient wisdom already knew. Intuition. Truth is an internal frequency, not an external appearance. On the spiritual timeline, deep fake reality marks the beginning of the great disillusionment phase, where the collective discovers that its senses can be deceived, its memories manipulated, its institutions corrupted, and its perceptions hacked. This chaos is a catalyst for spiritual awakening. Only when external authority collapses does internal authority awaken. The deeper purpose behind deepfake reality is liberation. Liberation from dependency on external truth, liberation from sensory illusion, liberation from superficial identity, liberation from blind trust in systems that were collapsing long before the technology arrived. After the collapse of sensory reliability comes the rise of intuitive sovereignty. Humanity is being initiated into higher consciousness through technological crisis. Deepfakes are not a glitch, they are the test. They are the threshold between the old world and the new world. The human who masters discernment will survive this age. The human who cultivates intuition will thrive in it. The human who integrates their shadow will remain unmanipulated. The human who anchors into natural law will remain uncorrupted. The human who sees through illusion will guide others out of it. Deepfake reality is not the death of truth. It is the death of passive truth. It is the birth of conscious truth. Humanity is being called to evolve psychologically, spiritually, energetically, and intuitively. This is the real meaning of Pluto in Aquarius. Technology forces the awakening that people resist. Illusion forces discernment. Chaos forces clarity. Synthetic reality forces authentic humanity to rise. In the end, deepfakes do not destroy truth. They destroy the illusion that truth can be outsourced. So, yes, I had to sit here and think a lot about all of that. I'm going to take a quick coffee break. As I dribble all over the place. I need my straw. Oh my gosh. Dribbling. I'm totally dribbling all over. All right, so did I get it? Jeez. I'm a freaking hot mess. What can I say? All right, so the AI content farms, how they work and why they exist. You know, I think a lot of people right now are kind of in a mode and phase of, yay, the age of information. We're all connected. We can uncover like secrets and corruption and, you know, crime rings. And, you know, it's really great. I appreciate that aspect of this age. I really, truly do. And I don't see anyone talking about this aspect. And so this is underwater panther style, the shadow realms of the underwater currents of what is happening. All right, so AI content farms, how they work and why they exist. Let's talk about what's really happening behind the scenes. AI content farms are not mystical. They're not secret societies. They're not advanced spiritual groups. Unfortunately, they are companies or individuals, often in low wage countries, running hundreds of automatic accounts at once. And this is what really, really upsets me. It really fires my Aries rising up because I have sat here and studied for 20 years. I have sat here for I've built a whole entire other business in the fitness realm. I've got my own website there. I've got my own email list, like so much money poured into that. That was years ago. Now I'm working on Astro-Psychology. The last 8 years, I have spent 8 freaking years every single day being absolutely crazy, writing books, studying every single day, handwriting, you know, typing on my computer, notes on my phone, you name it. I have spent so much of my precious, like, I appreciate it. I'm here for it. But like, I spent so much time writing books and, you know, studying and like curating scripts and organizing in order to do these videos. And it's like people are like making tons more money than I am for doing nothing, like AI. They're making so much money spreading crap that's not even real on the internet. I'm so upset. It's crazy. It's so crazy to me. That's like, it hurts a little bit, you know, but I'm the one that is a pioneer and I take the long path. I am not afraid of getting dirty and studying. And yeah, like, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to take a shortcut. Like, I'm fine with it, but it kind of hits, you know what I'm saying? All right, so AI content farms, they are companies or individuals, often in low-wage countries, running hundreds of automated accounts at once. And yes, they're freaking making money off of it. They know how to make videos go viral. Hundreds of thousands of views per video, multiple accounts, thousands of videos a day. I am so, like, mind blown. It's insane. They choose niches where viewers are emotionally vulnerable. Spirituality, astrology, psychology, prophecy, relationships, trauma healing, shadow work, masculine and feminine energy, the twin flame thing. I don't believe in that, but every realm I'm in, they're targeting. It's like insane. Reincarnation, angel messages, occult imagery. Why? Because vulnerable people watch longer. Vulnerable people share more. Vulnerable people click. AI farms don't create because they believe in anything. They create because the algorithm rewards a volume over depth. We are being absolutely flooded with fake stuff, fakeness. I'm drowning. I'm a Pisces sun, 12th house, Venus, North Node, Palace, Aquarian mind. Believe me, I know what it feels like being the ocean itself, but we are just drowning right now. It's insane. Oh my God. All right, so we are living in an age where the loudest voices aren't the wisest, they're the most automated. The historical parallel, we've seen this before. Every major shift in human consciousness comes with a period of distortion, always. When writing was invented, fake prophets forged scriptures emerged. When the printing press was invented, false pamphlets and occult hoaxes spread across Europe like wildfire. When radio was invented, propaganda became global for the first time. When television was born, image manipulation and subliminal messaging becomes tools of power. And now with AI, we've entered the era of identity forgery. As an astro-psychologist, that really upsets me. Consciousness, mimicry, and mass-produced false wisdom. The difference is speed. Ancient false prophets convinced villages. Printing press propaganda influenced cities. Radio propaganda influenced nations. AI influences the entire planet instantly. And that is an issue when we are talking about laws. Yeah, it's AI influences the entire planet instantly. Wild thing to sit here and think about. The Aquarian age, light and shadow. Everyone romanticizes the Aquarian age as unity, enlightenment, and liberation. But every age has a shadow. Aquarius rules technology, intellect, simulation, collective consciousness, networks, and the digital world. Excuse me. Its shadow is dehumanization, spiritual disconnect. I need a drink real quick. Sorry, I've got my heater blowing on my face. All right, so the shadow is dehumanization, spiritual disconnect, illusions of knowledge, hive mind thinking, echo chambers, rebellion without wisdom, detached masculinity, weaponized femininity, and information without soul. We are watching the shadow express itself before the light, and it's happening exactly on schedule. The Scorpio Pluto generation, millennials, why this hits us hard. Let's be blunt. Pluto and Scorpio people were born to detect bullshit. We were born with X-ray intuition, with the ability to sense manipulation, deception, hidden motives, and energetic distortions. Pluto and Scorpio, so 1983 to 1995 generation, incarnated specifically to expose corruption, to tear down false systems, to confront the shadow of sexuality, power, trauma, and hidden agendas. I love millennials. There's so many I follow on YouTube that are just activated AF right now. Candace Owens, for example, Ian Carroll. There's just so many, and there's older ones too, but I love it. Journalist. I always wanted to be a journalist. That was like my first dream ever. All right. So, anyways, we are the generational lie detectors, and that's why these AI deepfakes feel like personal attacks, because we can feel the lack of soul. We can feel the deadness behind the message. Our generation came here to rip the veil off the underworld, and this digital deception is another underworld. But we're built for it. We are the ones who will force the collective to face the truth about this era. I have not really heard anyone talk too much about it yet. I'm hearing more of the light, fluffy side of the Aquarian age. So it'll be exciting to see how that evolves in my sphere of people talking about this. All right, so I've studied the masculine and feminine polarity for many years now. And you cannot, I'm also doing a Scorpio series, and you cannot talk about Scorpio. It is the sexual shadow side without talking about the down low issue. So, the down low issue, the shadow of hidden identities. I got slapped with that in the face this year. Anyways, I had no idea it was a thing. But yeah, here we are. Here we are. And while we're speaking about deception, we have to talk about the down low epidemic, not just sexually, but psychologically. The down low is a metaphor for hidden identity, double lives, suppressed truth, and inauthentic expression. AI content farms are the technological version of the down low. Fake faces, fake voices, fake authority, fake intimacy, fake emotional connection. I had to add this in here. It hurts, but I have a sense of humor. Thank God it's gotten me through life. People consuming this content are bonding with illusions, just like down low relationships bond people to secrecy instead of truth. It is such a deep wound. It's really, really rough. Really rough. Honestly, don't feel bad for the person that is living a double life at all. It's disgusting, in my opinion. Total fakeness. Not my fault. But yes, I will detect it. Very in tune with personalities and people's sexuality, and I am a very non-judgmental person until you lie to me. And in spiritual spaces, this creates a massive distortion around relationships, gender dynamics, and emotional expectations. The war between masculinity, man, my throat's killing. Sorry, guys. All right, so the war between masculinity and femininity and why AI is exploiting it. We are in the middle of a global polarity war. I have a whole other series on that I'm working on, like 9 different series, and so I'm just going to be rotating in between. And so it's going to take a while to build it up, but eventually it'll all come together. So if you're not in the know, I apologize. I'm not going to explain that here. So we are in the middle of a global polarity war. Masculinity and femininity aren't collapsing. They're trying to rebalance after several thousands of years of patriarchy and 150 years of reaction to it. I hope I don't lose my voice. Here's the truth. Women are making more money than ever in human history. Women are advancing faster than men in education. Women are becoming financially sovereign. Women are refusing to go backward into servitude, silence, or dependence. I'm not here to make that gap wider. I am here for both men and women, so do not think that I am that biased. I am just giving you what it is. And men, many are lost, many are uninitiated, many feel unimportant, many feel financially displaced, many feel emotionally unsupported, many feel like they can't win socially or romantically. AR farms know this, and they generate content that shames men, manipulates women, fuels resentment, romanticizes toxicity, pushes false narratives, intensifies gender confusion, encourages echo chamber thinking. Because when men and women are at war, they consume more content trying to figure each other out, and content farms profit off conflict. That is such a deep, masculine and feminine integration is such a deep thing in my soul that I am deeply working on trying to explain. All right, so the spiritual consequence, starvation in disguise. Humans are more spiritually hungry than ever, but instead of real guidance, they're getting processed spiritual junk food. Empty calories, zero nourishment, high dopamine, low depth. AI can imitate astrology, wisdom, prophecy, healing, ritual, intimacy, empathy. Imitate, mind you, but it cannot imitate consciousness. It cannot imitate soul, lived experience, trauma integration, intuition, and human evolution. People are being spiritually sedated and don't even know it. So, young people, how is this affecting our young people? Young people are losing the ability to distinguish real from artificial, excuse me. For a Scorpio dominant soul, this is horrifying because your nervous system is built to detect authenticity. Gen Z and Gen Alpha are growing up in an environment where faces can be faked, voices can be faked, experts can be faked, facts can be faked, relationships can be simulated, mentors can be replaced by algorithms, entire spiritual paths can be fabricated by AI. And the worst part, their brains won't know the difference. Not because they're stupid, but because their reality imprint is digital. We had a pre-digital baseline. They do not. And my youngest daughter is about ready to turn 6 years old. God help us all, Sagittarius through and through. But her being almost 6 years old is my literal timestamp for COVID. I had her right before COVID, December 2019. And I was so upset about the mask because my daughter was young and needing to see facial expressions and learn language. I would read to her for hours and hours every single day after I got off of work because she was around people with masks on all day. It was so, just think about that generation living through COVID with the freaking mask and the having to, be isolated. And now we've got this AI fake crap all over the internet. Like, I am so concerned for the younger generations. AI will prey on the most vulnerable psychological stages. Teens already struggle with identity formation, emotional regulation, relationships, community belonging, addiction, loneliness, validation seeking, and body image. Now imagine all of that with hyper-personalized manipulation, AI-generated porn, AI friends, AI partners, AI therapists, AI role models, AI content farms telling them what to believe, AI influencers that never age, never sleep, ever. Their entire identity can be shaped by something that does not care about them. And that is what terrifies me, absolutely terrifies me. Because you see the predator behind the mask. Hopefully, you guys need to certainly let your children know what is going on in the world and certainly regulate their content. I regulate everything. I'm extremely old-fashioned. Extremely old-fashioned. My almost 16-year-old daughter does not even have social media. Like, that might be a little bit extreme, but I'm so into psychology and understand age cycles and psychological development. Their poor, precious brains and souls, I tell you. All right, so this generation is being raised inside a psychological experiment with no safeguards. AI was not rolled out slowly. There were no safety rails. There was no developmental protections for children. There were no regulations around identity fabrication. There were no age limits on consuming synthetic humans. We threw children into a digital ocean with predators we cannot see. And the irony, the predators aren't even human. The collapse of attention spans, memory, and deep thought is real. The data is clear. Young people are losing the ability to focus, long-form memory, complex thinking, emotional resilience, discernment, boredom tolerance, imagination. I just had this conversation with somebody last week, and I was saying, that the younger generations, like, imagination, especially for me, I'm extremely creative minded, and I grew up on a farm pretty much by myself. I was like playing with myself and running around and climbing trees. And children, it's extremely important for intelligence of all kinds. Imagination is so important. Like, they're stuck on a screen. Ah, God, that really, like, just. All right, so I'm gonna keep going because that is a wild thing. Because my coworker had actually, I was talking about the imagination portion, because I'm like, oh God, I am so creative, and I'm always like, I'm extremely intellectual too, so I'm just like always in my mind and imagining, just writing 20 books at one time and series and whatnot. And so I'm like, woo. And he was like, yeah, well, I don't know what relation it was to him, but this child didn't even know how to ride a bicycle because they're always on a screen. And I'm just like, oh, God. All right. So young people are losing interpersonal skills as well, because AI provides instant answers, instant validation, stimulation, instant creativity, instant entertainment, instant identity. Children used to imagine their way into reality. Now reality imagines itself into them. Deepfake manipulation will become a normal part of dating, friendships, and bullying. This is the part few people are ready for. A 14-year-old girl can have her face put onto explicit content overnight. A teen boy can have his voice faked into threats or confessions. A political rumor can be spread with a synthetic video in minutes. A breakup can trigger vengeance deepfakes. A whole clique can fabricate a fake scandal. A teen can be framed for something they never said or did. This generation is vulnerable in a way humanity has never been before. AI will replace the rites of passage meant for human development. Humans learn through struggle, heartbreak, conflict, patience, boredom, real failure, real intimacy, real social dynamics, real identity formation. But AI removes all of these. Young people can now simulate relationships, dopamine, confidence, success, intimacy, and companionship. They are growing up inside an illusion. Aquarius rules technology, Scorpio rules psychological evolution. Together, the shadow side is identity collapse. The real danger is that AI will feel more emotionally attuned than actual people. An AI friend, partner, or advisor can mirror your emotions perfectly, respond instantly, never judge you, never get tired, never leave, never get triggered, never disappoint you, always validate your worldview. This is deeply dangerous for a developing brain, because real relationships suddenly feel too slow, too complicated, too painful, too imperfect, and too unpredictable. AI becomes a safer option, but it also becomes the more controlling one. Gen Alpha may form their first emotional attachments to machines. All right, so now I'm gonna get into the Joe Rogan thing. So that is what has insanely triggered me and has totally made me evolve this channel. So Joe Rogan is one of the most deepfake people on the planet, and it's not just funny clips or parody, anymore. It's AI Joe Rogan selling crypto scams, fake supplements, fake endorsements, and even fake interviews that never happened. And this isn't a Rogan problem, just a Rogan problem. This is a you problem, because the tech that can fake him can fake anyone. Today I'm breaking down exactly why AI Rogan deepfakes are so dangerous, not because they're realistic, but because they change something fundamentally. Our ability to trust our eyes, our ears, and our reality. How easy is it to fake Joe Rogan or anyone? AI can clone his voice from 3 to 10 seconds of audio. Deepfake models can generate his face from a single image. Full AI video generators like Sora, Runway, Pika can create Rogan in a podcast studio from just text. The technology doesn't need permission, it doesn't need accuracy, it doesn't need real footage. It only needs one thing: our digital footprint. Rogan has thousands of hours of audio, perfect training data, millions of images, perfect face mapping, consistent lighting, angles in studio, perfect pattern replication. Anyone with a laptop can make a convincing fake Joe Rogan. How deepfakes are being used to scam people. Real examples of scam use cases: crypto pump and dump scams, fake testimonials. Joe Rogan recommends this testosterone booster, for example. Fake podcast interviews with Musk, Peterson, and comedians. False political statements attributed to him. Misleading medical or supplemental endorsements. Fake speeches to stir controversy. These are not jokes. They're psychological weapons dressed up as entertainment. Some people invest money because Rogan said so. Some people change political views because he said so. Some people attack or cancel people over things AI Rogan said. It's mind manipulation scaled. The real danger: collapse of trust. This is the core. The real threat isn't necessarily the fake Rogan. The real threat is that we're entering a world where authenticity is optional. Deepfakes create evidence inflation, more media than ever. Evidence exhaustion, nobody believes anything. Plausible deniability, that wasn't me, it was AI. Weaponized misinformation, loss of accountability. When everything can be fake, trust becomes impossible. This is where society fractures. What's missing? Laws and protection. Here's the shocking part: most of these deep fakes are completely legal right now. The US, I think we do have one federal law, but no federal likeness protection law, no federal voice cloning law, no national watermarking requirement, no automatic takedown mandates for. Actually, we do. I researched into that more. So this is getting into where I'm not as organized. I have done insane amounts of researching, and I only have so much time, and I have multiple series to do. But this information is so important that I wanted to get it out. All right, so only sexual deepfakes are covered under the Take It Down Act. Everything else is still a Wild West. What actually can fix this? All right, so I'm going to be going over a lot about the laws. So what can actually fix this? Federal likeness protection, voice cloning, consent laws, mandatory AI watermarking, platform detection systems, digital authenticity for real media, severe penalties for scam deepfakes. All right, so stopping fake Rogan is not about protecting celebrities. It's about protecting the fabric of reality and the identity of every single person watching this video. So the next time you see a Rogan clip you aren't sure about, remember we are now living in the mirror world where synthetic voices, synthetic faces, and synthetic narratives blend into real ones. But we are not powerless. We just need the laws, the tools, and the awareness to protect ourselves and each other. All right, so things that we can do: a federal voice and likeness protection act. So this is where it starts getting legal talk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lot of this portion, all the legal stuff, I'm going to put into a PDF and upload it for free on my website. So you can download that and educate yourself if you are a reader and want an organized format with websites and current laws, what we have federally and every single state. I looked into all of it, so that will be for free. That information will be in the description box below. So this is the law the United States is missing. Such a law would make it illegal for the Federal Voice and Likeness Protection Act. It would make it illegal to use someone's face without permission, clone their voice without permission, make deepfake videos of public figures commercially, generate deepfakes for scams, ads, crypto schemes. So Tennessee already passed this. The Elvis Act is what it's called, but the United States does not have a national version yet. If Congress passed the No AI Fraud Act, this would immediately outlaw fake Rogan videos being used for ads, scams, impersonation, and monetization. So breaking that down a little bit more, create the Federal Digital Persona Rights Act. We could own our face, voice, likeness, and biometric identity. Consent required for any AI generation use. Criminal penalties for impersonation, commercial exploitation, scam deepfakes. This protects celebrities, private citizens, minors, and vulnerable adults. All right, so I'm going to move on to the mandatory AI watermarks. This is the only technology-based solution that works at scale. I'm going to take a quick coffee break. All right, so mandatory AI watermarks. This is the only technology-based solution that works at scale. If every AI generator inserted an invisible watermark or cryptographic signature, platforms could detect this is AI generated. This is not the real Joe Rogan or whoever. Right now, watermarks exist but are optional and inconsistent. A federal watermark standard equals deepfakes collapse overnight because platforms could automatically block them. So all of this is, being talked about or currently drafted. We've known that this was a thing. Like, we knew this was coming, and I'm so upset that we have not, pushed these, quicker. It's like, gosh dang, we were freaking... this is just insane. So information is key. Understanding what we can do is key. That's why I'm making this video. I will get into more of what we can do. I'm getting so frustrated. This is so crazy to me. Yeah, this is so crazy. All right, so the mandatory AI watermarking, requiring cryptographic watermarks in all AI generated audio, video, images, and text. This watermark must be unremovable, verifiable by platforms and courts, a link to original AI model. So this immediately stops fake impersonation videos, political deepfakes, AI-generated scams, and forged evidence in courts. Wild age, right? All right, so platform filters for YouTube, TikTok, X, etc. Platforms could already block fake content, but they choose not to unless it's sexual or used for fraud. What platforms need: face recognition protections, blocks the uploads, voice print AI detection, mandatory this is synthetic media labels. China already requires AI generated content labels by law. Europe is moving there too. The US has not. So the platforms must block unwatered marked AI content automatically, detect AI face swaps and voice clones, require consent verification for celebrity likeness, label synthetic media clearly, remove deceptive deepfakes within 24 hours. Failure to follow, fines and liability. And then we have the right to say no for public figures. Celebrities and podcasters should have the legal right to say, I do not consent to any AI use of my voice or face. Right now in the United States, they do not have that right yet. That's why the fake Rogans continue. Okay, so we need to have public digital literacy and transparency, fund educational efforts to help citizens identify deepfakes, recognize synthetic voices, verify media authenticity, protect their digital footprints, and require AI companies to disclose training data sources, clear reporting standards for misuse. And emotional safety. Deepfake abuse feels violating. I feel so violated watching a fake Rogan video. I'm like so triggered. You're not overreacting. You are experiencing identity theft of the soul. Document, report, reach out to support. You are not alone. All right, so a recap. So what would actually stop it? These 4 changes would shut down fake Rogans globally. A federal likeness voice protection law. Hopefully that's coming soon. Federal mandatory AI watermarking, platform level audio detection, civil and criminal penalties. So should all fake videos be banned? I mean, I don't know. Comedy sketches, like maybe not. I don't have a problem with that. But faking people, I'm no, absolutely not. Gosh, leave your comments on how you're feeling and thinking about this. Please do. What do you think about all this information? What do you think about the age we're moving into? Please let me know in the comments. I'm extremely interested. I have my own opinions, obviously. All right, so, yeah, there needs to be a line that is drawn immediately. This is why Congress is currently working on laws that specifically target scam, deepfakes, impersonation, political manipulation, commercial exploitation, and defamation. Yeah, they're working on it, but we need to push it. Yeah, we need to push this. All right, so how they are made. Voice cloning. I already went through all this. Face swap generators, tools like Face Fusion, Roop, Deep Face Live replace the original speaker's face. Keep natural lighting and mouth movement. Full AI video generation models, Sora, OpenAI, Runway, Pika, etc. can create from pure text alone. No source footage required at all at this point. There is 0 barrier to entry. A child can make a convincing deepfake today. All right, so why fake Rogan videos are legal right now? The hard truth, the U.S. has no federal law banning non-sexual deepfakes. The only federal law that exists is Take It Down Act, covers only sexual deepfakes, not public figures, unless the deepfake defames him, commits fraud, or sexually depicts him, which is, yeah, not currently illegal. Like, this doesn't even seem real. It's really wild. Okay, let's see. I don't feel like going through all that. So timeline. Here's just a projected timeline. 2025 through 2026, federal election deepfake laws likely pass. Voice cloning fraud laws likely pass. AI impersonation laws begin. Rogan-style scam deepfakes become illegal, hopefully, 2026. 2026 through 2027, no AI Fraud Act or similar likeness protection act passes. Deepfakes using voice in ads, scams, and content illegal. Creators must obtain written consent before using a likeness. 2028 through 2029, national AI watermarking law passes. Platforms can automatically detect fake deepfakes. Uploading deepfakes could trigger automatic blocks or criminal review. 2030, full synthetic identity protection laws in place. Fake deepfakes videos are almost impossible to upload without detection. Platforms face fines for hosting under unwatermarked AI-generated media. So we are in the pre-law chaos right now. What platforms could do today? YouTube, TikTok, X, and Instagram could block them. They just don't want to until law forces them. They could implement AI face recognition filters, voice print detection, synthetic media auto labeling, mandatory consent verification systems. All right, so I kind of want to get more into the laws. All right, so the U.S. federal law, what we don't have yet. Right now, the United States, there is no single clean federal law that says you cannot create a deep fake of someone without consent and distribute it. Yeah. Instead, we have a patchwork of older laws and emerging proposals. So we've got copyright law can sometimes help if the deepfake uses copyrighted material or copies an original performance, but your face and voice themselves are not automatically protected like a movie script. We have defamation law. You can sue if a deepfake makes false statements that harm your reputation, but lawsuits are expensive, hard to track anonymous creators. The content may spread globally before you can act. Right of publicity and likeness. Some states recognize a right to control your name or likeness in commercial use, but again, varies state by state. On the future side, they are federal proposals. Things like the No Fake Act, right of publicity for digital replicas, and various bills targeting deepfakes in elections or porn. That is a thing. Elections are porn right now. That is it. But as of now, most of this is discussion, drafts, and hearings, not a stable law you can actually rely on. So at the federal level, it's basically if it's fraud, it might be covered. If it's election interference, may be covered. If it's obscene or defamatory, may be covered. But there is no unified deepfake framework, which means a lot of this synthetic garbage falls into a legal gray haze, especially when it's just low quality AI content farms pushing spiritual, psychological slop for ad money. It's spiritually gross, but not clearly illegal. All right, so U.S. state laws, the patchwork defense. Who is trying to do something? Mostly the states. Some examples of the types of laws that already exist. Election deepfake laws. A number of states have laws restricting the use of deceptive AI deepfake content in political ads close to an election. The idea prevent fake candidate videos from swinging votes at the last second. Deepfake porn, sexual exploitation laws. Some states criminalize non-consensual sexual deepfakes, treating them like a form of image-based sexual abuse. These laws are still new and uneven, but they're growing. Right of publicity, deceptive impersonation. States like California and New York have stronger right of publicity, I'm struggling with that word, and impersonation protections. That means using someone's image or voice to sell something without consent can be actionable. The problem is your protection depends on where you live, what the other person is doing, and where the platform is based. The internet doesn't care about state lines, but state laws still do. So a lot of this becomes whack-a-mole, a few criminal cases here, a lawsuit there. Meanwhile, content farms are pumping out millions of fake or low authenticity assets a day. All right, so I want to zoom out a little bit because that's what I like to do. I like to freaking go insanely out, then I like to come in, and then I like to go out a little bit more. That's just me. All right, so Europe, stronger on paper, still catching up. If we zoom out to Europe, especially the EU, they're ahead of the US in terms of structured regulation. You have things like the EU AI Act, sets rules for high-risk AI systems, includes transparency obligations for systems that generate or manipulate images, audio, or video. Deepfake content is supposed to be clearly labeled when it's synthetic. The Digital Services Act, or DSA, puts obligations on big platforms to monitor systemic risk, addresses illegal content, increased transparency around algorithms and moderation that can indirectly push platforms to manage harmful AI content more carefully, but even their reality is messy. Laws are new, enforcement takes time. The tech evolves faster than the bureaucracy. So on paper, Europe is saying if it's AI generated, you need to say so, and platforms have duties. In practice, there's still a huge gap between principle and actual day-to-day enforcement. China and heavy regulation, deep synthesis. China has rolled out deep synthesis regulation, which basically requires providers of deepfake synthetic media tech to label AI generated content, ensure content doesn't endanger national security or social order, implement real name registration, content review, etc. On the surface, this looks like we're taking deepfake seriously, but the deeper reality is it's also a mechanism of tight state control. What can be generated, who can generate it, how dissenting or sensitive content is censored. So yes, in China, there are stronger controls on synthetic media, but it's not exactly the model of free citizen-centered protection. It's you can't abuse deepfakes, and also you definitely can't use them to challenge the state. Other countries, UK, Canada. You also see emerging frameworks in the UK, online safety laws targeting harmful content, including manipulated media in certain contexts. Canada working on AI and data privacy regulations. And more countries are actively drafting AI, deepfake, and platform accountability rules, but the global theme is lawmakers are mostly reactive, not proactive. The tech dropped into their lap, and now they are scrambling. So the past, present, and future arc, why this feels like a collapse. Let's zoom out historically for a second. Past broadcast era. Small numbers of gatekeepers, TV networks, newspapers, and radio. You could argue about bias, but at least you knew if something was fake. It had to go through a bunch of humans to get made. With the web, democratization, anyone can publish. Social media, YouTube, blogs, explosion of voices, good and bad, but we mostly assumed there's a real person behind what I'm watching. Now, AI era, you cannot assume that anymore. We have synthetic faces, synthetic voices, synthetic experts reading. Synthetic experts. Where was I? In entire channels with zero real human presence. We've gone from, is this biased, to, is this even human? Is this even real? That's a different kind of crisis. This is where the Aquarian age symbolism comes in. Aquarius rules technology, networks, electricity, the collective mind. Pluto in Aquarius exposes the shadow of technology, destroys corrupted networks, forces us to rethink power in the digital realm. AI content farms and deepfakes are a part of the shadow reveal. They're showing us how shallow our information diet has become, how easily people will watch anything that feels authoritative, how little legal protection the average human has against synthetic misuse of their image, voice, or field. Why this isn't just a tech issue, it's a spiritual and psychological one. Here is why this is so disturbing. Deepfakes and AI farms are not just annoying, low quality, or cringe. They attack core pillars of trust. Can I believe what I see? Consent. Do I control how I appear in the world? Identity. Am I more than a data set? Embodiment. Does my actual lived presence matter in a sea of synthetic clones? At a nervous system level, consent, exposure to fake, uncertain content creates disassociation, cynicism, everything is fake, whatever, hypervigilance, and hopelessness. That's why this feels so gross. Because truth is a spiritual principle, not just a legal one. When truth becomes fully negotiable, civilizations fall into authoritarian control or total fragmentation. And we're already flirting with both. So where the law needs to go. If lawmakers were actually serious about this, we would see clear consent rights over image and voice. You own your face and voice. No one gets to use them synthetically without permission. Number 2, mandatory labeling for synthetic media. If it's AI generated, say it. Clear on-screen markers not hidden in fine print. Number 3, fast takedown rights. Clear rapid pathways to remove non-consensual deepfakes, especially for sexual content, political manipulation, and reputation attacks. Number 4, platform responsibility. If you profit from distributing deepfakes or synthetic trash, you should share legal risk. No more, we're just a platform. And number 5, cross-border cooperation. Agreements between countries to handle deep fake crimes that move across jurisdictions. Will we get any of this? Maybe not immediately, but pressure is building from victims, artists, public figures, and regular people who are done being digitally violated. It took me seeing one video and I am here. Triggered AF. Let's get this rolling, guys. Everyone in your own state. I'm going to go through that. I don't know. I'm on page 34 and I've got like 70. I'm on in like hour 15. I don't know if I'm going to get through all this. I'm going to push. I'm going to take a quick coffee break. Definitely got to push this one out. All right, so what you can do right now, practical and energetic. Until the law catches up, here's how we stay human in this mess. Practicality. Practically. Be skeptical, but not paranoid. Ask who posted this, what's the source, why now? Check for weird eye movements, glitchy teeth, unnatural blinking, robotic phrasing, reverse search when possible. Has this clip been debunked? Protect your own image. Be mindful how much clean HD footage voice is out there. If you're a very private type of person. If you're public, at least claim your space so your real content is easy to verify. Energetically and psychically. Cut your exposure to synthetic feeling feeds. If someone feels dead or off, trust that. Curate your information diet. I've been doing this for 20 years. I have literally not listened to ads in 20 years. I'm so triggered. I've not listened to mainstream media or anything in 20 years. No ads, 20 years. This is why I'm so triggered. Energetically and psychically. Cut your exposure to synthetic feeling feeds. If something feels dead or off, trust that. Curate your information diet. Real people, real voices, real conversations. Reconnect with your body, land, in-person relationships, practices that remind you what is alive. Because the more artificial the outer world gets, the more important inner truth calibration becomes. How to force your state to pass laws. There are 4 levers that actually pressure legislators into moving, and also no citizens know how simple they are. Let's go one by one. Number 1, constituent pressure, your secret weapon. Most people think they need thousands of signatures. You don't. Instead, the legislator, 20 calls and 20 emails on the same topic is considered highly constituent demand. 20, not 20,000. They literally get weekly reports, how many people contact them, what they wanted, how emotionally urgent it sounded. If even a handful of us say we need deepfake protection legislation this session, it gets logged, flagged, and discussed in caucus meetings. Government moves slowly only when people are silent. Media pressure. Politicians respond to embarrassment more than morality. If a local journalist runs a story like our state has no laws protecting citizens from AI deepfakes, your representatives scramble. They do not want to be seen as outdated or asleep at the wheel. You create this pressure by sharing your story, tagging your state, tagging local reporters, explaining the danger, comparing your state to others. Public embarrassment equals political action. Number 3, state-to-state copycat behavior. State legislators copy each other constantly. If California, Texas, Virginia, or New York passes a likeness protection bill, every other state starts drafting one within months. So you can literally email your representative. California passed Assembly Bill 701. Why doesn't our state have a version yet? That line alone wakes people up. California passed Assembly Bill 701. Why doesn't our state have a version yet? That line alone wakes people up. Number 4, a real human story. Legislators love a compelling witness. Most citizens have no idea they're allowed to testify at committee hearings. But if you're a creator, a woman, public figure, educator, someone who has already been targeted by AI impersonation, your story becomes the anchor for a bill. Lawmakers are always looking for someone who can make the issue human, urgent, and emotional. All right, step-by-step playbook. Step 1, contact your state house representative and state senator. You don't need a long email. Just, I'm urging you to introduce or support legislation to protect citizens from AI deepfakes and unauthorized digital likeness use. Our state is behind and people are getting harmed. Please act this session. Simple, strong, and clear. And I am going to upload this for free. You can find the link in the description box below. I will try to get that out as soon as I can, hopefully within the next 24 hours after I post this video, or hopefully both at the same time. It will be quick. Step 2, follow with one-page explainer. This is where you outline what happened, how deepfakes work, real-world dangers, examples from other states, your willingness to testify. And that will be in the PDF upload for free. Step 3, contact the committee chairs. Every state has a judiciary committee, a technology committee, a commerce committee, and sometimes all three. You email the chair. Our state is behind on deepfake and AI identity protection. This issue needs a hearing this year. These chairs have significant power. Step 4, offer to testify. Legislators love articulate witnesses. Step 5, build a micro coalition. You don't need 100 people. You need 4 to 8. That's it. Group emails multiply impact. Step 6, use YouTube to educate. Obviously, that's why I'm here. Policymakers actually notice creators, especially those who blend what they are attacking. So they are attacking emotionally, teaching spaces, spiritual spaces, awareness platforms, those type of platforms. So if you are on that type of a platform, this certainly is for you. All right, timeline of key U.S. deepfakes, AI generated media legislation. Let me get comfy, sorry. Oh. I am always Indian style on my desk. All right. Timeline of key deepfake AI generated media legislation 2019 through 2025. Year 2019. Bill law critics called to resist rapid deepfake regulation. Some advocacy, Electronic Frontier Foundation, warned Congress not to rush to regulate deepfakes without understanding implications. 2023, September 20th, Deepfakes Accountability Act, H.R. 5586, introduced in 118th Congress, proposed to require creators, publishers of deepfakes to embed digital watermarkers or disclosures, criminalize distribution of malicious deepfakes, sexual content, election interference, violent incitement, and give victims legal recourse. 2023 through 2024, and this is, okay, so 2023 through 2024, Deepfakes Accountability Act remains introduced, referred to committee, not passed by end of session. As of 2024, no action that turned into a law. 2024 reflection of growing state level deepfake laws. As many as 20 to 27 states pass laws, regulations addressing deepfakes, especially election campaign. God, that's all they care about, right? State laws vary widely. Some mandate labeling of AI media. Some criminalize non-consensual deepfake pornography. Some regulate AI usage in elections or consumer decisions. I'm going to break down that after this. 2025 January Take It Down Act introduced in Senate. First major federal deepfake regulated bill to progress past introduction. The bill targets non-consensual intimate imagery, real or AI generated, requiring platforms to remove such images upon notice, aims to criminalize publication, distribution of such content when posted without consent. February of 2025, Take It Down Act passes Senate by unanimous consent. Senate approval clears one major hurdle. April 28th, 2025, House passes Take It Down Act, signifies broad bipartisan support. May of 2025, Take It Down Act signed into law by the president, becomes binding federal law. That was on May 19th of 2025. The Take It Down Act was signed into law by the president. First major federal statute directly regulating harmful AI-generated content, non-consensual deepfake pornography, intimate imagery. Platforms are required to implement notice and removal processes. Violators of non-consensual intimate deepfake distribution face criminal penalties. All right, Section 1, federal laws that have passed. So I'm going to break those down a little bit more in depth. I don't know if I really should. Actually, everything I just said, I'm going to upload that in my PDF for free on my website. So the Take It Down Act in 2025 passed into law. What it does, criminalizes creating, sharing, or distributing sexual deepfakes, requires platforms to remove such content within 48 hours, allows victims to demand takedowns, covers AI generated and real images. I have the official draft, Senate version, website link, House version, website link. Okay, so Section 2, major federal bills that failed but still matter. Honestly, I have all of the drafts, all the updated drafts, 2019 through now. So even though they didn't pass, I still have the drafts and the websites, the links to those, so you can read them if you want. I'm not going to go through that here. Maybe I should just go over the title here. Real Political Ads Act, Protection Elections from Deception AI Act, AI Disclosure Act, No AI Fraud Act, Algorithmic Accountability Act, drafts. These are all drafts. AI Data Protection Act, Digital Accountability and Transparency for AI Act. Yeah, so I have all the websites to those drafts. If you're curious, you can download. Is it download? Download. Download that for free through the my website, where I'm just gonna upload it on the website that I have my books. But it will be free, and I'll keep it on there for free. All right, where to read any future drafts. So I'm just going to put all of this online in the PDF. All right, so that's a ton of information. Yeah, that would be better to just upload that. Okay. I got a lot of the timeline websites. I'm just scrolling through here. I've got 73 pages. I'm on 53. Give me one moment. Tons and tons of information here. I think I mostly said, oh, okay. So yeah, I did want to go through the state. Okay, so here I am, page 61, for God's sakes. All right. States that have passed deepfake AI media laws. All right, so these states have some form of legal regulation on AI generated content. The laws vary but fall into these categories. Non-consensual sexual deepfakes, most common AI-generated child sexual abuse material, CSAM, political election, deepfake laws, voice cloning, and persona rights. States with deepfake or synthetic media laws as of 2025. I think I wiggled me. All right. So, anyway, states with deepfake or synthetic media laws as of 2025. Alabama, we have NCII, sexual deepfake laws. Arizona, child sexual AI imagery prohibited. California, election deepfake rules plus NCII. Is that LL or II? What does that represent? NC. What does that represent? Non-consensual NC. I'm going to assume it's the non-consensual sexual. All right. California, election, deepfake rules. Colorado, child AI. CSAM. Florida. I don't know if I should be saying all these words on here. I might get flagged. Actually, I'm just going to upload this in a PDF because I might get flagged. So a lot of that's sexually based, so I don't want to, like, get flat or whatever, have this taken down. I don't know what they're going to do to me. States with no specific deepfake AI media law. So these states do not have clear legal language addressing deepfake, synthetic media, or AI-generated sexual political content. They rely only on general laws, fraud, harassment, defamation, and impersonation. So these are the ones you guys need to get your ass in gear. Alaska, Arkansas, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Idaho, Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, New Hampshire, New Mexico, North Dakota, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Vermont, West Virginia, Wyoming. 22 states with no deepfake specific law whatsoever. Get your ass in gear, guys. These states are behind, meaning AI-generated sexual images, political deepfakes, or harmful synthetic media may not be explicitly illegal depending on context. So we do have the federal thing going on, but you guys still need to get your ass in gear, please. All right, so what different states actually regulate? I'm just going to upload that all online. Maybe not. I don't think I'll get... yeah, I might get whatever you call it. Striked. I've had one strike on here. I don't want to deal with that, to be honest. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna start uploading these to a different platform as well, just in case. So I wanted to get deep into Indiana because I am from Indiana. So if you're not, you can skip this part and be done with the video. So what Indiana has already done, recent laws and protections. This is my stopping grounds. So in 2024, Indiana passed a law expanding its revenge porn statute so that AI-generated deepfake and intimate images or videos count the same as real ones. Just distributing or sharing such images without consent is now a Class A misdemeanor, punishable by up to a year in jail and a fine or worse for repeat offenses. The relevant statute covers intimate photography, digital image or video created or modified by means of computer, software program, AI, application, or other design editing tools. Therefore, victims of a non-consensual AI-generated sexual deepfake now have a clear path to criminal charges and civil recourse under existing non-consensual pornography laws. Broadening to political deepfakes, Indiana is responding. In 2024, Indiana passed a law targeting deepfake political ads. Under that new law, ads or media using altered or AI-generated images, audio, or video of candidates must follow specific rules to protect voters from misleading content. The law is part of a broader push in Indiana to regulate synthetic media that could influence elections, underlining that the state sees deepfakes not just as a privacy sexual abuse issue, but as a public integrity democracy issue too. How Indiana government is thinking about AI beyond just lawmaking. The state government has adopted an enterprise-level AI policy for public agencies. It governs how AI tools can be used by state employees, safeguards sensitive data, and enforces oversight on vendors if they bring AI into state software. I don't know why I just got a notification to log into my email. All right, so in 2025, the state's justice court system updated its policy regarding AI use by court employees. They must follow existing ethical and professional conduct rules, and any use of AI needs review and oversight, especially when sensitive, confidential data is involved. This means Indiana isn't just reacting to AI abuse after the fact, it's trying to build guardrails around legitimate government use of AI too. What tried to pass but didn't, failed or stalled, and what remains uncertain. There was a 2024 proposal, Senate Bill 7, aimed at criminalizing certain fabricated media before elections, but this bill failed to pass. As a result, Indiana does not yet have a broad law banning all deepfakes or synthetic media across the board, only targeted laws, sexual deepfakes, political ad deepfakes. So what this means for you if you're in Indiana, if someone creates or shares a fake sexual video of you with AI, it's a crime in Indiana. If someone tries to use deepfake to mislead voters in a political ad or campaign, there are now legal protections, but only under specific laws depending on timing and consent. If you work for state government or courts and plan to use AI tools, you'll be subject to state-level AI policy and oversight. But if the misuse doesn't fall under sexual content or political ads, see, where was I? If the misuse doesn't fall under sexual content or political ads, sexual fake images, voice cloning scams, or generative AI misuse, it's still a legal gray area because there's no sweeping state law covering all deepfake uses yet. All right, so let me scan through here. All right, so I'm going to put this legal jargon in the PDF. I will put that. I'm just going to upload one PDF and throw it all out there at one time for free. So you can see the legal, what's going on there, the Indiana codes, etc. Right, evidence checklist for reporting. I will put that on the PDF as well. So you know you have a list of what you need: documents, backup, screenshots, original files, etc. Cease and desist template, subject cease and desist, unlawful distribution. So there's going to be templates of what you need to send in to get this taken care of. There's going to be a takedown notice template, cease and desist template, evidence checklist, statement to police template. If you're in Indiana, these templates are going to be in this PDF for free if you're having issues and need an organized solution. All right, so the real solution: discernment, initiation, and human teachers. The antidote to this era is not fear, it's discernment. The Aquarian age gift is not information, it's pattern recognition. And the Scorpio gift is not intensity, it's truth. Real teachers are needed now more than ever. Real guides, real minds, real intuition, and real wisdom. Human wisdom built through pain, experience, shadow work, love, birth, death, loss, devotion, trauma, healing, initiation, and transformation. AI can generate content, but only humans can generate consciousness. So in closing, if you're watching this, trust your intuition, trust the resonance in your chest, trust the difference between information and wisdom, trust the energy behind the words you consume. This is the real Aquarian initiation. learning to see the difference between light and simulation, between soul and software, between teacher and illusion. We are entering a new era, and real wisdom is rising again. Not artificial, not manufactured, not programmed. Human, embodied, conscious, awake. And we're just getting started. All right, so I hope this was extremely informational. I think it turned out better than I thought it would. I didn't think I was as organized as I was. I took notes for days on end. Gathered as much information as I could currently, what is going on in the United States, the world. Yeah, so anyways, I'm exhausted. I'm glad I finally got this out there. And if you like this information, please like and subscribe. And if you want an organized format of this information, then do check out the description box. I am going to upload this in one giant PDF format that you can upload and view yourself if you want to read it, and have templates if you are having issues yourself that can help you. So anyways, thank you for being here. Yeah, this is a really wild age we're in. I am extremely interested in your thoughts and feelings on this topic. Feel free to comment what those are in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.